dudes? It's story time.
Oh shit.
I have never felt more fucking obligated to talk about something ever than I have right now.
Oh.
Welcome to the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Whoa.
It's taken me 24 hours to even get it to this point. So we're not running in 4K. Obviously, downsampling 4K to a 1080p image is hard as fuck. So we can't really do that through modern-day capture devices. Many modern-day capture devices just can't do it. Thank you, anybody that's donating or subscribing. I appreciate it. I'm going to tell you guys my past 24 hours. As soon as we ended the stream last night, I was like, alright, let's update the PS4 Pro. Let's plug the bitch in and see how it goes. So we plugged in the PS4 Pro, fired it up, and it just turned on. It was flickering like crazy. Like, the TV would catch the signal and drop the signal and catch it and drop it, but I eventually got to the point where I saw it, and I was like, alright, update. So it said it can't do anything without an update. So we updated the system. And after that, I couldn't get anything to show up on my television at all. Eventually, I was able to get a 720p signal to show up under one of my 5 HDMI slots for no reason. And then I was able to do the sync process. I put my other PS4, my old PS4, my PS4 Pro, and there's this new feature that allows you to transfer all your fucking data from one system to the other, and to make it just work on the other system. So I did it. I got there. It says identified the PlayStation on your network. It's going to start transferring all the data and everything. And then as soon as I did that, it just left me on this spinning beach ball thing. And I went away for 45 minutes and it was still doing the same thing. I'm like, well, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm going to do it under wireless and see how that goes. So I went back, tried to do it wirelessly, followed the process, found the system, spinning beach ball for another 45 minutes. Like, well, fuck it. I'm going to bed. Went to bed, woke up. Both systems were off, and nothing happened.
Welcome back.
So I'm like, well, fuck this shit. I'm just going to download all my games. So I downloaded all my games manually. I can't get PT because I literally can't get it off that system to this one. This is what they did. Oh, sweet. Like, where is it?
Welcome back to the stage of history.
I think I got to go to my other... I have to go to another profile. Anyway, PT's in there, but you can't download it. You can't grab it. So that was that. So on this TV, we have a lovely HDMI slot, which has the least delay of any single TV out there for 4K right now. It actually has the lowest delay, making it the biggest one of the largest TVs at 50 inches. That allows you to play with just about 1 frame of delay, which is really fucking good for 50-inch 4K TV, which is why we bought this one, and it was a little bit more expensive for that reason. Kenny bought one as well. Sadly, the PS4 hates the 4K slot on a ton of TVs because we updated the system. These TVs got amazing reviews. They got higher reviews than the modern Samsungs, than the modern Sony TVs. But apparently, the only people that aren't having really big issues right now are Sony television users. Because after the update, people with Samsungs, people with LGs, and people with Vizios are having a fucking hell of a time getting the system to even show up at 4K. And I had a hell of a time getting the system to even fucking show up at 1080p. So, I couldn't do it. Like, I actually could not get the system to show up with 1080p. So, I was fucked. I followed all these guides. All these people are like, this is how you have to do it. It's the biggest pain in the ass. It said you had to fire the thing up in safe mode, which I did. You have to change the different type of HDMI which you're using because you have to use proper HDMI cables. I'm using the right cables. I do trailers in 4K for video games. I know how this shit works. What it's boiling down to is that this is the dumbest system to ever make an HDMI handshake I have ever used. Like, for you guys that don't know what an HDMI handshake is, it is, like, essential through copyright protection and getting the image to show up on the screen from there. It has to make an agreement of signal to go through, and it is the worst console I have... Anything. I can't even think of anything. It's probably cracking, yeah. I'd imagine the sound is cracking because this shit is... Anyway. Is the mic cracking or is the sound on the game cracking? I'll find out. Point. Hopefully that works. Anyway, so... the Pro is also crackling the audio. Well, I'm not surprised. So to even get it to show up, the only thing that I could do to get this bitch to show up was to plug in my PlayStation VR box. And the only reason that is that, well, there's only one other device outside of the PS4, which works great. The PS4 is totally fine. The Pro, I can't get to make an HDMI handshake with my TV unless I plugged in the PSVR box, and guess what? It worked. It worked in 4K, it worked in everything just great, until it just suddenly didn't, and then stopped making the handshake completely. The system came out way too fast, way too early, and whatever patch they released, you guys will find it now, because the past 3 days, people are getting fucked over. Do not buy this system right now. Like, you're gonna have to wait for a patch, because people that are calling Sony is blaming TV developers, even though it was working, like it was working before the patch. People are being told at Sony to tell folks that, oh, it's actually, you have to check with your television manufacturer. But people are like, but it was just working. And this is the same shit that everyone's telling me, that they tried to fucking call, and even though it was working before the patch, now it's not, they're still saying, you'll call your TV manufacturer. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? Like, it's taken me this long to even get it to this point where I had to plug it into the PSVR, the HDMI output's coming from my PSVR, but guess what? Remember what happened with the PSVR before? I had to reroute my whole fucking room to even get that shit to work because the PSVR hates splitters. I had to take off all my splitters and everything, put it to the PSVR, directly plug it into this bitch, and oh my god, we can at least get 1080p signal. I couldn't even get 1080p before. Holy shit, you guys. Holy shit. If you're out there right now and you have this system and you have a Sony TV, you're probably totally fucking fine. If you have a Sony 4K TV, you're totally fucking fine. But I literally had to technically use $1,000 of equipment to even get this thing show up on my TV. Just buy a new TV. My TV works great with every single other system except this one. So I don't think so. And you know what? It worked good before the patch. Simmons was right.
Well, that's no surprise. Of course I was!
It worked. Last time when we plugged it in, it worked.
I think next time you want to play a new system, Max, do the math.
Yeah. We'll probably get this running, and we'll get this running faster. It might actually look better in RGB, technically. Holy shit, you guys. That was the most frustrating 24 hours that I've ever been through trying to get this thing to even function. And we got Final Fantasy 15, which is really nice, but I am taking this system and shoving it into my closet until they fix it. There's no reason for me to be playing this because I'm not going to use any of my other HDMI slots because only one HDMI slot on this TV has the 1 frame of delay, which is the whole fucking point of buying this TV for fighting games. So, fuck it. And the thing is, a lot of people are saying, this isn't, there's been huge amounts of threads all over this, tons of threads all over the fucking PS4 shit. I don't know, man. A lot of people are having these issues, and a lot of people aren't. But the fact that so many are, it's not just like a 1% or 2%. There's a fuckload of people with TVs that aren't Sony TVs that are they can't even run this shit.
How long did it take to hook up the NES Classic?
That took all but 2 seconds. I plugged it in and it went. It was amazing. It was amazing. This is currently the biggest piece of shit in this room right now. It's bad. It's fucking bad. So, welcome to Final Fantasy 15 Judgment. Not available on the English store. Only available in the Japanese store.
I like how it says it's a Final Fantasy for fans and newcomers alike.
Fans and newcomers.
I thought it was a Final Fantasy, a fantasy based in reality.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I had to tell you what I had gone through to even get this thing to show up. What I'd literally been trying to get it to function for the past 24 hours. For you guys that don't know what an HDMI handshake is, it's like the most basic fucking thing, and they fucked it up on this system. I don't know how. I don't know how.